Hey there, welcome to the Impatient Entrepreneur Podcast, a show where we hear from entrepreneurs and business owners who are chomping at the bit to make their mark on the world. I'm your host, Lauren Quidar-Cockrell. Now, let's hurry up and get to the good stuff. Hi, friends. Welcome back. I have Kara Williams with me today, founder of Help Me Kara. Something I love about Kara in our conversation so far is that she is both a business strategist, which I love, but also a tech simplifier, which help me, Lord. Help Me Kara is the perfect name for that. So Kara, thank you so much for being here and welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. My
pleasure. So what does Help Me Kara do? Tell us both what you do and how you got to this point.
Yeah. So I got to this point. I'll start there. I had a creative business for years. I had a paint studio, and all of my other painting friends that also had creative businesses, I was doing my own website and course launch and all of that. And they were like, Kara, can you help me? I need help with this. I need help with this. And so I would help them with all of their tech. That's when I realized my gift, I loved being the creative and having that, but what I really love is helping people simplify their tech and actually get things launched. Because so often people will have this great idea, but they don't know how to execute. And, and it's funny, one of my business besties, I asked her one time, I go, if you could only give me one word, she goes, you're an executor. And I just love activating people to that energy and then getting them helped along the line. So whatever you need, let's just get it done.
Great. And so today, the business, you're helping people do that?
Yes, that's exactly what I do, whether it's courses or offers or freebies, whatever it is that they're trying to launch, we're getting that tech done so that they can actually start making some progress.
I've had a little bit of experience with some online course creation, or at least, getting some things set up so that a client could have all their content out there and accessible once things moved from in-person to online. The pandemic necessitated it. And then you're from a practicality standpoint, let's make this available to people literally all over the world. And so, just taking them a challenge and making it an opportunity. And I don't think people realize how much goes into any of these courses that you maybe you buy them and never take them, or you buy them and take them, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. And a lot of times people will they know that there are so many pieces that go together, but they don't really know okay, how do I get started and how do I go from idea all the way to execution in a way that doesn't feel like I want to pull my hair out. And so I just like to offer that more hands-on approach. Listen, you're only going to need me for a short period of time. Let's do this together. Let's get you from start to finish with whatever it is that you're wanting to do so that you can breathe and get back to doing what it is that you love. And I don't think people realize that if you don't have some type of digital offer out there, whether it's a course or something else, you are capped with the amount of time that you have available. That's a limited resource. So if you don't have other products out there that don't require you to be on 24/7, you're capped out. Right. Yeah. The concept of mailbox money is very appealing to me. Right. Yes.
Wake up and you made some money. That's how it's at.
Correct. Or be at lunch with a friend and get a ding from your phone. I just made $97 because somebody purchased my course, or, that there is so much freedom in that, but you're still able to make the impact and the income.
Absolutely. So first official question, Kara, are you an impatient entrepreneur?
Yes. I look at, it was funny. I was doing just a quick business stat yesterday that somebody had sent me. And I was like, oh my goodness, I feel so far behind because I haven't done this, and this. And then all of a sudden I'm like, well, I got to do it all today. It's got to be done.
Today's the day.
Or why wasn't it done yesterday? And so yeah, I'm definitely an impatient entrepreneur, and it's hard for me sometimes to have to just sit down and make that list and say, okay, what is going to actually move the needle? And let's put everything else to the side, because not everything is a today priority.
Right. And I imagine as you work with people who are so excited to get their offer out there, they're like, I'm ready for it to exist. I'm ready to have it done. And again, from my experience, there's so many details that go into it. Now, I mean, the technology has changed, and, you can talk about your platform and everything today. But yeah, it's hard to rein in that impatience, and it's gonna take us a second to get all this organized and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think everybody wants to do it all at once. And
Hmm.
that's when you get overwhelmed. And I think living in that
Right.
overwhelm energy is not helpful. So I'm like, here's the very next step. Go and do that.
Hmm.
And then come back and I'll
Hmm.
tell you the next step.
Exactly. Yeah, I have to do this with my children too. When they get overwhelmed by a project or something, I'm like, okay, you cannot swallow this elephant in one gulp. Like, what's the first next step that we can take, one bite at a time?
Yeah, for sure. I had a lady come to me this morning. She's like, I have this course and I have this course. And I also want to do this and I have this website and this website. And I looked at her and I said, what is your number one goal? Let's
Hmm.
work toward that one thing. I'm going to give you one action
Hmm.
step in the next 60 days. That's all you're going to do.
Hmm.
And the freedom in that.
Hmm. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Ironically, the boundaries create freedom. Is there anything in particular that you're impatient about right now?
Oh man, back end, like all of the
Mm.
little things. Like I have, I did a call with someone this morning, and one of the back end things that I have set up is if it felt like the right fit, I'll send them I'll tag them in my back end and as a testimonial request, and then it fires off an email saying, "Hey, I had so much fun talking to you this morning," or whatever, and then it invites them to leave a testimonial, and then also by doing that, get a 20-minute free call. I want more of those things set up. I
Mm.
want more of those
Hmm.
things that I can automate in my business, but it's just a lack of time. So, but
Yeah.
seeing the possibility and how easy it is to just quickly pull up someone's contact, add a quick tag, and know that everything's going to happen
Mm.
is
Hmm.
so great. And so, yeah, that's where I'm really impatient is I want everything set up today. And
Yeah.
it's just not realistic.
Hmm. Well, that makes me feel better since that's, your domain.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, I have that impatience too. Um, how do you fuel yourself as a leader and in the space and you're taking care of a lot of people? Um, do you read books? Are you listening to podcasts? Are you going to webinars and consuming other courses? Like how does Kara feed Kara?
Well, there's a couple different things. First and foremost, I'm a woman of faith. So the
Mhm.
Lord is where I tend to find my strength. And my son was injured 2 months ago. We had a surgery six
Mm,
weeks ago. And this
mm,
season has been rough because where I went from
mhm,
working from 8:30 until 4 or 5 o'clock every day, now it's like 8:30 to 2 o'clock. And then I've got to go get him and take him to therapy and all of that. And so
mm,
I've had this just weight sitting on me of I'm not doing enough and just
mhm,
having to anchor myself to that's right, I'm not enough, but he is, and this is just
mhm,
a season. um,
mhm,
on the business side of it, I'm in two masterminds, and I make it intentional that I am at those calls, I'm getting fed, and I'm also feeding others, like I'm
mhm,
networking and making a difference so that I because you hear other entrepreneur struggles
mhm,
and then you feel
mhm.
less alone, which I think a lot of
Right.
us as solopreneurs, like that's how you feel. And so
Mhm.
those are probably the two biggest things is like leaning on the
Sure.
Lord, resting whenever
Mm,
if I sit down at my desk and I'm absolutely cannot form a thought, guess what? Right now is not the time. I'm going to go do
mhm,
something for my family. And then in those moments where maybe dinner's in the oven and I have the capacity to come and do something, I'm going to come slip in here and do some stuff. So I think being a home based entrepreneur with teens and kids in the home, my schedule
mhm,
doesn't look orthodox. Like it's
mhm.
not a 9 to 5. And I've got to
Right.
be okay with that.
Right. Well, first of all, is your son going to be
He
okay?
is. He is. He's got a
Mm,
6 month recovery. It was a pretty
mm,
traumatic injury, but we got him. This is a really cool little tip or little, I guess, side note. You know, Nick Saban, the coach for
mhm,
Alabama,
mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
the guy who did Nick Saban's hip surgery did my son's hip surgery.
Oh, okay.
So I
Wow.
feel
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, you should. You should, because he can afford, whoever. Yes, we're
Mm-hmm.
an SEC household. So.
Mm-hmm. And yeah.
um,
So yeah, he's gonna be
gosh.
he's gonna be just fine. But thank you.
Well, good. I'm so glad to hear that. Yes, my kids are, at the time of recording 11 and 7. And, that pull of, being very devoted to my business, but and also to my family and being like, where do I need to be? And it's, at the end of the day, they're they're the ones who matter. And but it all, sometimes it's late nights and early mornings for the work. Sometimes I'm at my desk on traditional hours, but I'm very thankful for technology. And I think, if anything, one great thing that came out of COVID, out of the many terrible things, was the pulling back of the curtain of that we all have multifaceted lives. And not only do we have that, but things happen, traumatic events happen. And the grace that we must give ourselves and that other people are more readily giving us, I think, is something I hope continues on and doesn't dissipate. But I'm glad he's on the mend. So talk us through a time in your business life where things are going along great and you're like, amazing, and then all of a sudden something happens and the rug gets pulled straight out from underneath you and you think, well, not sure I'm going to survive this. But it ends up being one of the best things that could have happened.
Yeah. So back in 2020, when COVID happened, I was running an online paint membership. I would ship out wooden door hangers. At the time, there was a local college that I would go to and cut them out. They had a big laser. I would cut them out. I would, draw them up, cut them out. And it was a monthly membership. And I also had in-person workshops. So most Friday and Saturday nights, I had a paint studio where I would get 25 women in there at $45 a ticket, Friday and Saturday nights. And I mean, it was like rocking and rolling. It had taken off. Everybody would come. I had repeat customers. And then all of a sudden, overnight, we could not get together. And so it went from 25 times 45 twice a week to, wow, now I've got to focus 100% on my online membership. And it had only come about because I had friends and family. We've moved a lot. So I've got quite a big network of friends and family that had seen what I was doing in person. And they're like, hey, could we do that at home? And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. So I really dove into that. And I think when I did that, I really had to conquer the tech. And had I not had to conquer the tech, and also, I tell people, I think what makes me different when it comes to being a tech-based entrepreneur is I also love the strategy. I think so many people will go to somewhere like Upwork or Fiverr and they'll hire someone to do their tech, but there's no strategy built in.
Right.
And if you don't bake that strategy in, guess what? Like, you don't have a system that's really operating. So I think having to do that for myself and then getting the opportunity to do that for other people, it just helped me figure out what I love. Do
you still have your creative studio?
No, I don't. We moved about 4 years ago, and I actually rebuilt here. But I just felt the Lord say, you're done with that. And I didn't know what would happen then, but it's funny to see the doors that he's opened when I was obedient and said, okay, I won't do that anymore.
And are you like both right and left brain? Like, you're both very creative and very analytical then?
Yes. Yes. I live right in the middle. And so where a lot of my clients, they come to me for tech, they also have zero design skills. They can't make their things pretty. And so they're always amazed that when we're done, like, I've taken the few assets that they give me, their brand colors and, their headshots and kind of their mood board, and I can turn it into this full website, and I can make their courses look beautiful and their portals look beautiful. And I don't have to go back and forth and say, hey, can you get me your graphic designer to make a picture that's this size and this, like, we don't have to do that. And so that is always like, I don't know, it's something I love. So I'm able to combine that creativity with the tech part of it. And I love it.
Yeah, it is nice. And, you're talking about just Upwork or Fiverr. I mean, like, that's like insert tab A in a slot B. Like, I've known so many people like, well, I'll just do that. I'll save money. I'm like, is your time worth nothing?
Mhm.
Because if you better know what you want to have happen. But if you're not an expert in all that, then anyway, yeah, good for you. Were you an entrepreneur as a kid?
No, I mean, I did, the lemonade stand.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah, I did that. Like I remember my brothers and sisters, we did lemonade stands growing up. But other than that, like I really wasn't, but I was very driven. And when I was 15, I got my first job. So like I've always
hmm
loved to work
hmm
and I like to keep my hands busy. But no, I was not really, I don't know, I wouldn't say that I was really an entrepreneur as a kid.
Yeah. Well, were you motivated by money at all, or
Oh
was it
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And I can remember I had this, okay, I'm going to go back for a minute.
hmm
CDs. I love music.
Yeah.
But back in the day, the
hmm
only way you could listen to music, it was like to buy the CDs or wait for it to come on the radio. And
hmm
I had this huge thing of CDs because I just loved music. And I was at work one night saving money for more CDs.
Yeah.
And somebody broke into my car and stole all my CDs.
Oh no.
And I remember thinking like, oh my goodness, but
Take the car, leave the music.
yeah, leave the music. Yeah. But it was one of those like gut wrenching, oh man, I got to save all that money
hmm
and buy all my CDs. So yes, I was very money motivated and I did ask
hmm
all the time, like, Mom, can I wash your car? Mom, can I,
hmm
whatever. So yeah, I did. I did
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, I feel like, given the right prompt, as you look back, you're like, yeah, I was there all along.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
When you were a kid, was there a personality trait of yours where people were like, Kara, honey, you've got to work on this? Like that you either perceived it as a weakness or you were told outright it was a weakness, but today, as this founder and entrepreneur, you now see it as your superpower?
Probably the fact that I talk too much. I can
Mm-hmm,
remember,
mm-hmm.
and I grew up in the day where your teachers took you out in the hall and paddled you. I had gone to
Okay. Yeah.
preschool where a lot of kids had not gone to preschool. I went because my mom worked and that's just where she put me instead of
Yep.
daycare.
Mm-hmm,
And so when I
mm-hmm.
got into kindergarten, like I already knew my numbers and knew my letters and I knew my sounds and I was bored. And
Mm-hmm.
so I got paddled a lot for talking,
Oh man.
a
Mm-mm.
lot. And I look at it now and I'm like, but I have no problem grabbing my phone and making a reel,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and talking to my ideal audience, and I think
mm-hmm,
while, yeah, there's still some muscle that needs to be developed to be able to do that, like it's really helped me.
mm-hmm. Yeah. I was just thinking about that today. I've always loved stories. I've always loved storytelling. And I used to go to the library and check out the maximum amount of books that they would let me have. And I would go home and I read them and be back the next day. So, the written word has always been where I am very comfortable. And I was thinking, like, my team really wants me to do more videos. And I'm like, about what? Can I just write it? I'm a keyboard jockey. Let me live.
Well, and there's a place for that. I think right now, like I've got one of my mentors, she's really pushing me to LinkedIn.
Yep.
I'm not a great writer. I'm
Mm-hmm,
just not.
mm-hmm,
But if I in the moment, I feel like do my best videos
mm-hmm,
when I turn the camera on when I'm driving down the road and I have a thought or I'm in
mm-hmm.
carpool line.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so I can take that and then I can turn it into written, but it's
Right.
hard for me to go the other way.
Right. 100%. Yeah. Well, LinkedIn is, lots of videos on LinkedIn now. So,
Yeah, I haven't put many out there, and the ones that I have haven't gotten much traction, but that's a platform I'm just not super familiar with yet.
yeah.
I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I've spent more time there in 2025 than anywhere else for sure. Okay. So, what's a piece of advice you can give our listeners to make their lives and businesses stronger and better today?
Oh, I would say the biggest thing is, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, and you probably are if you're listening to this podcast, just know that it's going to take grit and it's going to take a lot of
Mm-hmm.
grace, but it's
Mm-hmm.
worth it. And at the end of the day, consistency is going to be what gets you to those goals. and showing up even when you don't feel like it. I think one of the things that has been playing in my head a lot is I watched a video a couple weeks ago from a guy that said the 4 words that changed my life were, I do it anyway. And so if I could give anyone advice, it's even on those days you don't feel like it, even when you don't want to do it, even when you don't think you know how to do it, you know what, you do it anyway, you figure it out. And so that would be, too many people start and stop because they get frustrated, and those people that can push through when they want to stop are going to see that progress because they stayed consistent and they kept showing up even when it was hard.
100%. Yeah. You were talking earlier about, when you're sitting down obviously you're dealing with a specific situation right now, but sometimes sitting down at the desk and you're just like, whew, I'm not sure anything is going to come out today. It's either, go do something different so your brain, finds a new pathway, and then you can come back to it, like you said. And then sometimes it's, and I picked this up years ago from reading Getting Things Done by, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Well, anyway, Getting Things Done, just Google it. And we'll put it in the show notes, to have a list of things that you can do when you have low energy. And it's just like, you don't do them when you're just like, I've got the muse is talking to me today, I'm just going to crank it. Don't waste that time on low energy tasks. Just keep a running list of them. Or it's like, or if you're in the carpool lane, keep a list of phone calls that you need to make, and just like dial them up then if you're allowed to be on your phone. But things like that you can further optimize your time, and really prioritize, like, a lot of people talk about time management. I think it's really more energy management for me personally. It's like, how do I spend my time with other people? What do I need to really do? What do I really need to do? What's the highest and best use of my time and energy right now? And then, you can still be productive if you need to be, but sometimes you just need to rest.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And I've made a commitment to myself that Monday through Friday, I'm going to post a piece of content. And so if I do let myself get up from my desk before I've posted that piece of content, and when I say post a piece of content, I'm usually taking one piece and I'm changing it for that idea for all the different platforms so that it's going out to multiple places. But before I go to bed that night, a piece of content has to be posted, because I've got to keep that small commitment to myself, because otherwise I won't keep the bigger commitments to myself.
Right.
And so, yes, I love that idea of keeping a running list. Like, I can make graphics and I can do all, that kind of thing when I don't have the brain power to necessarily sit down and create a piece of content. But by the end of the day, I got to figure it out.
I love that. I love the discipline. Some people are like, tomorrow it'll be there. Yeah. Amazing. Well, Kara, tell us, where can folks find you?
Go to helpmekara.com. I'm on all of the platforms at Help Me Kara, so you can find me. I primarily live on Instagram. I love Threads. That has been a new obsession of mine. Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, LinkedIn, all the places.
LinkedIn, coming soon.
Yes, I'm there. I'm just learning.
Yeah.
So yes.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to The Impatient Entrepreneur. Love the podcast? Be sure to share it with a friend or colleague, or give us a 5-star review on Apple. You can also chat with us on Instagram or Facebook at The Impatient Entrepreneur Pod. Want to star on a future episode? Head over to theimpatiententrepreneur.com to inquire. Thank you to the team at Quidar & Co. for believing in me and bringing this podcast to life. And thank you to Carson Childers for mixing and editing this episode. Can't wait to see you next time.